What's going on, guys? Thank you for coming back to another episode of The Sit Down. And yes, I know the whole layout's a bit different this week. Chad and Jordan took the week off this week. They got things of their own to do. I was fortunate enough to have my good friend Johnny Grooms come on as a co-host. As always, Johnny, I'm pretty sure Johnny would go live with me if I told him we were going to be peeling potatoes. Like, he'd be like, all right, cool, dude, let's do it.
I know a really fast way to do it. So
yeah, see,
anytime
I
you
told
want to, yeah, I'm good with it.
Nicole, the ever beautiful Nicole, is also on as my co-host. And we are absolutely honored to be joined by a group known as DAP, the man Josh down in the corner. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing okay. How y'all doing?
All right, wait, hold on. People are saying hi. What's going on, Caleb? Chris,
Hey,
Jesse, Rob. Rob was in here like...
What's up, chat?
I think Rob was in here like an hour before we even went live. So thank you. Yeah, Josh is part of a group called DAP. DAP stands for Dads Against Predators. And I knew nothing about this group until Nicole turned to me and she was like, hey, have you ever watched these videos on YouTube? And I was no, I had not. And then it's like, Josh, I hope you take this in the absolute right way it's intended. Your channel is kind of like a train wreck. I don't want to keep watching all these horrible people out there, but I can't help but click on your channel to see if there's another one. Like if you found another one. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yes. It's kind of the same way for me. They just kind of happen. I wish I could not catch them, but
yeah,
they're pretty easy to catch, from being honest.
I was just thinking that you're probably the one content creator on YouTube that probably wishes his channel had no reason for being there.
Yeah.
Like
basically.
You're probably the only content creator in history that's like, man, I wish there was no reason for my channel to be in existence right now. But
for the most part, I can't think of any other field.
I think it's all right. So do me a favor real quick. For those that don't know, go ahead and tell them what DAP is and give me like a little background how you got into this.
Sure. So DAP is Dads Against Predators. I'm a father. I got 3 kids. I grew up watching the Chris Hansen videos. Like, I was born in 1993. I'm a YouTube kid. You know what I mean? I was watching YouTube in like 2007, 8. Watching those videos, I used to laugh at those guys, and it was like a funny thing. And then I'm like 19, 20, 21. I have my own kids. I watch those videos again. There's guys like Pop Squad doing it. And then I started getting angry. You know what I mean? It wasn't funny to me anymore. It was just like, this is what the fuck. And something had happened in my family, and the guy didn't get no justice. He didn't get, like, it didn't even go to court. So nobody can figure out what happened. And then so I was like, I gotta expose this guy. So like, he had a police report when this dude would get a job at like Burger King. I called Burger King, took in the police report, and then the dude gets fired. He went to Taco Bell. I did the same thing. And I'm like, well, basically, I'm in the business of exposing people, and I always watch those YouTube videos. And I'm like, let's see. Me and my best friend Jay, who couldn't make it tonight, but we just thought, let's see who we can get in our hometown. We never figured it would be like what it is now. And to kind of get we poses 13 anywhere from, I've caught with Roy with a 9-year-old boy. So we've got people from anywhere from 9 to 15 posing as 9 to 15 years old, and we've caught over 110 guys at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just about to say they have. I believe it's number 100 is up at this point, right? Uploaded on the YouTube channel.
So what happened with that is we caught one of our friends, like kind of our friends, and it was a guy that we kind of looked out for. You know, he was just like socially awkward, didn't have a lot of friends. We felt bad for him. And he had contacted one of our decoys, and I never believed it. It was actually Jay that was talking to him, and I couldn't believe it. I was just like, it's a joke. He's waiting to say, like, just kidding. And it never happened. And like when we go catch, man, like when we go to like a spot or an area, we get like 10 in a weekend. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of like work to edit those videos and stuff like that. So I get backed up, and we were somewhere around like 88, and we caught Travis, which happened to be 100. It was crazy. It was like meant to be type weird shit. Just 100 in our hometown. One of the people that we know. What's the chances like that? And I just had to get that one out the way. So I edited that like right away the next day, posted it, and I had to move on. Like, and that's basically why 100 came out early, and now we're like filling in the rest of the videos that happened before that. And then we got videos that's happened past that now that we still have to upload and stuff like that. It's a lot of work. I'm doing it basically. It's me and Jay, but I do all the editing and decoy work, the catching. So it's a lot of work. So it's hard to get all of them out at the same time.
You know, just so you guys know, if you watch number 100, I think Josh, we if you watch the videos, we definitely see, you know, the passion come out. You don't like these guys. You don't want anything to do with them. But that number 100 was like, I felt for you as you're talking to him. You're like, we were friends, dude. Like, you sat in my home. Like, I know you. And I was like, I felt for you. I was like, dude, there wouldn't have been a camera if it was me. And that's why I'm happy it's you doing these things and not me. I tell Nicole all the time, I'd be in jail. I'd be serving like 3 life sentences right now.
The thing with that, is that's the main question. Like how we were talking before we went live is, how do I do it without like punching him or whatever? And we've been in, if you see on Patreon, we've been in a few scraps with them. I mean, we ain't going in there hitting them first, but we do defend ourselves. I mean, I ain't never gonna run from a predator, and I've had my fair fights and when I was younger and stuff like that. But it comes down to like the first name of the group. It's dads. So like if I'm in jail for punching this predator, you know what I mean? I can't be a father to my children.
Right.
So it's the love of being a dad outweighs more. Hold on, my lights went out. But the love of being a dad weighs more than like the hate towards these guys, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to go away for losing your cool on one of these guys, and then your kid's gonna not have your dad's not gonna be you're not gonna be a dad to your child around if you're away for that. Yeah.
And if I lose my cool, let's say I lost my cool in like 35, there wouldn't be a catch 100. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just playing the long game. No, but I agree. I mean, if I had my way, these dudes, if you're guilty, I feel like if you're guilty of messing with a kid, like that's death penalty in my opinion. Like maybe I'm a little bit crazy or whatever, but that's one of the few things that don't deserve a second chance in my opinion. So I think these guys, when they get caught by me, it's like I like to always say, like, what if it was the dad? Like how you say, like you don't have a YouTube channel, so if somebody was talking to your kid, if somebody's talking to my kid, I'm not gonna put them on YouTube. I'm gonna tell you that, like.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. Yeah. That's not my job anymore. Like now you're messing with my family. Like they ain't got nothing to do with my job. So, if it's a dad, like they ain't showing up with cameras and they're not showing up to like give you a fucking pep talk. You know what I mean? So, it's their social life gets ruined, but like they get to go home safely at the end of the night most of the time.
Oh.
And that's exactly what he says too. On more than one occasion, he kind of lets them know, like, listen, you're almost lucky that it's us that showed up tonight, because if it's the cops, you're going to jail. If it's a dad, you're probably not going home at all. You're not going anywhere. It's done.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah. Because if it was me,
and these guys are worms. You know what I mean? They don't have any aggressive energy. You know what I mean? So like a few have, but like most 95% of these guys, they're worms. They got no spine, and
exactly.
Like they would get taken advantage by a mean man. Like, you know what I mean? A mean man will really hurt these dudes.
Yeah.
Johnny, Nicole, did you have any questions before I keep rolling through all my stuff here?
A lot of my questions that you said before he came on, they kind of like are. I don't want to take anything from your questions. So like a lot of the questions that I thought of, like you you got him already.
Of course,
if I come up with anything off the cuff, I'll let you know. I'll shoot it out there. But
I'm okay for right now. Yeah.
All right. So again, I think I've watched. Baby, have we watched every one? Pretty much. I think we've watched every one that they've done, right? Yeah.
I watched everyone.
Yeah. So I think we've watched every
It's a lot of
one, and
videos.
yeah, it varies, right? Like you said, I've seen you guys catch ones that are like, they're like 21-year-old kids that were talking. Oh, I say kids, they're not kids, they're grown men. 21-year-old men talking to 14 and 15-year-olds. When you approach someone like that, do you almost look at it as maybe I can make this dude understand what he's doing wrong? Because he's only 21, maybe I can correct this.
So one time I had a group called DAP 419. They're not with us anymore, but with them, they was doing chats for me, and they had caught this guy. They was like, oh, he's 19. They didn't tell me that he was 15. Like the decoy is 15. This is guy, I can't remember his name, but I caught him at like a water park, and then we was like walking through the hotel. I don't know if that sounds familiar. Like
A little bit.
I got a hard time remembering these guys' numbers and names and stuff like that. But I wasn't really I don't really like that, but at the same time, if I was the police, that's still against the law. You know what I mean? So another situation, like, it's kind of lucky for him, and I've talked to him personally. I said, man, if you really tell me, like, show me like you knew what you were doing was wrong, I'm open to taking down his video if he learned his lesson and stuff like that. I mean, my dad was 19 and my mom was 14. Like I said, it was like the 90s, but like it's really just about the kids. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really here for them. It's really about, like, to show, like, a 14-year-old kid that dude would have picked her up. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
the shaming and all that shit, like, that comes to part of it with them, but that's not really my mission. Like, number one is education. Like, in my videos, that's how I like to look at it. It's like showing parents, these people are really out here. These people are your driving instructors. These people are, like, man, we've talked to, like, doctors, police officers, and early on I had talked to, like, an actual lawyer and stuff like that. So, like, they're everybody. They're all around you, man.
Wow. That's another thing. Real quick. When you catch one of these, there's no like set child involved. Like, it's not like you like intercept like their conversations with an actual kid. It's all set up, right? Yeah, it's all right. It's right. Yeah.
It's all a setup. It's all fake.
Okay.
We don't use, like, minors pictures or anything like that. We use, like, regular younger looking girls pictures, and then I don't want to give you guys all the sauce, but there's an app that we use that basically makes them even younger. And I catch guys. I'll give you this, but I catch guys like the guy I caught where I was 8 years old. That was my pictures, and I'm sending them pictures like 3 fingers up. But it's kind of an expensive app, but it's out there to mess up
to make yourself look younger, like a kid.
Yeah, I can make myself look like anything. I've caught, like, a guy using myself as a girl before, like, so it's pretty crazy.
Now you do that on almost every catch, the 3 fingers, right? I mean, I've seen you try it at least.
That's kind of my thing. What a lot of, like, and I don't want to diss anybody or something, but, like, what a lot of predator catchers lack at is getting the guys, like, inside the store and, like, knowing which, like, they always lose them. Kind of, they can get the chats all the way up to the meeting spot, and then, like, they lose them. You got to know what the guy looks like. They're gonna send fake pictures. They're gonna lie to you and tell you, like, they're wearing something else that they're not wearing. But, like, if you get them to send you a lie picture, because that's what they want from you, I just turn it on their fucking head. They want you to send. They want to make sure that I prove I'm real, but I kind of give them a false sense of security by making them prove that they're real. You know what I mean? So, like, I reverse that on them, and that works all the time.
Right. Yeah. And that's funny when you show the chats, because every video starts off with him showing the conversation and exactly what has gone down. And if you watch the conversation, he actually takes everything and flips it around to where it seems like the kid is nervous that the guy, like the older individual, is not real, and he's trying to get them to prove like you're real and you want to come meet me. Like it's pretty smart.
Yeah, that's like the hardest part is the chats. You don't, and that's why the police aren't very good. Is they don't know how to do that. They don't know how to. I don't want to say they all don't, but where I was coming from, they never did anything like that. They sound like cops, and you kind of got to be like a weirdo actor or something like that to like get yourself. I mean, it's a weird thing. I pose as like an 8-year-old boy or a 13-year-old girl, so like you got to be a little bit weird to like get in that character, but you got to be that character. So like every time I catch with like a girl, I'm the same character. My mom's always doing the same thing. I can always get a ride from my cousin. You know what I mean? It's always the same story because you'll get mixed up if you don't have the same story. If you're out there lollygagging, you gotta take a character like serious. So
you have to from like the ground up and build it, and just I get that.
Were you surprised the first time you caught a girl?
Beth, yeah, I was.
Because I was. I was.
They're what you call like a rare Pokemon or something. It's like catching Mewtwo or something like that. Like, you don't come across them often. And like even in the chats, I mean, I've chatted with a few girls, but it's 99.99 men. Because people always tell me you got to catch more girls. Like, I would if I could, man. I just don't think they have like. I don't want to speak for all women or whatever. I just don't think they have like that much of a predatory mindset. Because the two women, well, the 3 women that I technically caught, they were all partnered with a guy. Except Beth's guy didn't come downstairs. You know what I mean? So even at that point, I never really caught a girl by themselves. And even when Pop Squad caught that girl, she's not by herself. I don't think anybody's really caught a girl just by themselves.
No, I mean, but I was still when you guys walked up on her, and that was Beth, right? That was the one that was standing out. Yeah, she was out front by herself. Like you could almost see it on her face. Like, did I really just get caught doing this? Like, I'm probably the one woman in history that just got caught.
I mean, she's had the funniest like self-defense. Like I was gonna wipe the phone like on some Mission Impossible shit. Like she's funny. You get people, but you catch these people in these weird positions. I mean, that's why there's so many people watch these videos for so many different reasons. People like I like to put them out for education, but I understand like people watch these because they're funny. People watch these because they're nasty. People watch these because like it's kind of scary. Like this guy could live down. It's like them real life murder dramas that they watch on like A&E and stuff like that. People are just like attracted to this stuff, and just like there's like an energy of seeing somebody get caught red-handed, whether it's like stealing or like that's why Bait Car was like, oh shoot, you're watching this guy's like reaction caught stealing a car. So like you're watching a human's reaction to coming to meet a child, and it's not, you can't pay for it. Like it's a unique experience, I guess, for lack of better words. Like it's just
who makes first
human at the lowest moment. Go ahead.
Who makes first contact? Like when, like, are you just sitting in a chat room, and you're just like how does that initial like connection get made with like a predator?
Okay, so you make an app. We got about 4 apps that we use. Excuse me. You make an app. You obviously have to sign up as you're 18 years old on the app, and then people will write us. And then basically within the first 2 or 3 messages, if not the first one, depending on what apps we use, we say, hey, would you be mad? I'm 13. Would you be mad? I'm 14. And depending on like what the guy looks like, how old he is, that's kind of how I choose my ages or something like that. I don't know. And then, they write first. Because, Yeah, technically I could write first. Technically I could say, hey, I got $1 million, come over here. I'm 12. I can say anything I really want. Like I
Right,
don't
right.
have any legal boundaries, but like I do have people like Joe and Nicole that like watch the videos and they're like, oh, it's funky that he wrote them first. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like
Right.
so like I don't write them first, but it's not like there's a law or like anything that could stop me from writing them first or saying really anything. But like I like to keep it as morally black and white as possible.
Now, when you catch someone, do you like check to see if they're like on the sex offender like site and all that stuff, and like do you
Um,
contact like PO officers or something like that and things like that?
so what I do is I have a guy and I give him all the screenshots and videos of the guys that we had caught like in that trip, and then he'll call and email that. He'll call the police station and they'll be like, okay, direct them to a detective, and then he'll email all that stuff to the detective. It'll be
Oh,
like a
okay.
few
Okay.
months. Then they call back on some stuff. They don't call back on some other stuff. And then for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm on to the next one. I catch a guy, I get the chat logs, I get the video. He'll eventually get posted on YouTube probably in like 3 weeks to a month after he gets caught. And then I'm catching more guys and stuff like that. I don't really have time to like focus on all the other guys. And maybe that's something I should start doing. But I'm just being honest, I really don't do that.
Okay.
I know you like you said before, you have 100 and some odd catches at this point, but
Yeah.
there are a few that you've done that for me, I don't know, a couple of the guys just weirded me out a little more than the rest did. Is there any
Yeah.
one for you that was like that one was just a little more creepy than the rest, or like you were uneasy or anything like that?
I mean, Roy was really bad. Roy was grooming me, like saying he was gonna meet my mother and like become cool with her to get inside the house. He had been to prison for molesting a kid before. Chad, the dude in the wheelchair.
Right, I remember that
Nobody's
one.
nobody ever admitted to me that they molested somebody before. Like everybody's it's their first time. And Chad he admitted to me that he molested his 7-year-old niece, and I didn't really know how to take that. I was just like, my blood was like literally boiling. I can't think of even
Mm-hmm.
a better like term, like,
Yeah.
and that was really rough. Just knowing I could really, I'm inches away and I could just touch this man for molesting his 7-year-old niece, and uh, that stuff is like hard to deal with. Uh, it's just real life. I mean, guys that we've caught have killed themselves because of what
Wow.
was about to come out, and it's real life. So like, you gotta kind of take it as real life and take it for us how serious as it is. So yeah, it's all pretty. There's obviously levels. Of, like, I don't think every single I call thing guy, but there- that's what people talk to. That's I've so many nasty people. I've been sent child porn, and I've seen child porn. You know what I mean? That's something I've never
Mm-hmm.
planned on doing in my life. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's fucked up. So it's gross. It's a gross, dirty
Kind of
job.
a kind of a second part to that question. Was there ever a time, because I know you try to set it up in a situation where it's as safe as humanly possible, like meet me at a
Yeah.
store, meet me here. But was there ever a time where you got to a situation and all of a sudden you felt like we might not be completely safe right now? Like this
Yeah.
guy might be a little
So
more dangerous than I thought he was.
I've never caught kind kind of anybody like that. There was a situation with Jim where I don't have the footage. He kicked me in my shin. I have a scar on my shin, and I had punched him. I punched him back 3 times, and he was like he was laying on his truck like this, and then starts getting into his truck like fumbling in like the glove department. And I'm like, oh shit, he's about to get a gun.
Oh,
And
damn.
I kind of just like backed up. But that's like the only time actually catching somebody. But there was a guy, he did the 3 fingers, he did everything, and he gave me the address. And I showed up, and he's like, come in. And I walk in, and the place had like cameras all around it. It was like a weird environment, like a bunch of old furniture and stuff. The dude was like he's like 25. It just didn't make sense. And then
Right.
we're walking around in there, like, hello, hello. Nobody's answering. So we walk out, and then we hear, come in. And then we come in, and then the door, like one door is open. And it's hard to describe over this, but like,
Oh my God.
there was some weird ass energy, and it really felt like we was kind of being set up on some weird shit. I got like video footage of it, but it just kind of don't do it justice. So yeah, we just kind of dipped out.
How many of you were there? It was just, how many people when you do this, like when you go to approach them, how many people are with you?
It's not the same every time, but it's usually at least 2 other people, including me. So we like to give it at least 3 or
a
more.
group of you. Okay, good, yeah.
I don't. People always ask me like, "Oh, I'm about to do this. What should I do?" And my first thing is never go by yourself. Like,
right.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Ever. You don't want to get shot or stabbed and just lay up and just bleed out. You know what I mean? If you get shot or stabbed, at least have somebody there to call the ambulance. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it's something that you should do alone ever. Again, Diablo, you're absolutely right, sir. It is a scary topic, but it's a very real topic, unfortunately. And these videos, for me, they became more educational than anything for me after Nicole actually showed me the channel. I began looking at like my daughter, and I'm like, all right, what is she doing online? Now I'm checking her messages every night. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at her games to make sure if somebody sends her even a gaming invite that they're the right age and all that stuff. Like it's so easy nowadays for a kid to wind up in a very bad spot that groups like this, while nobody wants them to be a real thing, to me, I guarantee you Josh doesn't go home at night going, man, I can't wait to get back to doing this again tomorrow. He probably hopes that the day comes when he never has to do it again, but you're doing something amazing, bro. And I personally thank you as a father.
Oh, thank you, man. I mean, the fact that you're taking it as an education is, like I said earlier, that's my number one goal. So that's awesome. And just, I've gotten more aware of it. I'm not going to lie. I've grown from this process of like, just watching people more, like just watching people around your children more, like just watching what they're getting into, because they want your Snapchat. That's the number one thing. Every time a guy talks to me, you got Snapchat, you got a Snapchat. They want to get off whatever app they're getting into and get you into their space, whether it's a kick, whether it's a gamer tag or something like that. They want to isolate you from wherever they meet you, and just be on the lookout and kind of up to date. I mean, you can't afford to be like I'm an old man, I don't get technology. Like, if you're a father, like, you better get your shit together, because you're being less of a father by not knowing what's going on.
Right.
Well, it's funny. Your videos actually had an influence on me for something that probably wasn't intended, but it gave me an idea. So my daughter's just getting to that 14-year-old age where she wants to go to the park with her friends, and the park's like right down the block from us. So fine. But I started telling her that if you're going to be there without me, every half hour to 45 minutes, I want a picture of you giving me hold 2 fingers up and take a picture. And she's like, why? I'm like, well, anybody can text me, but not everybody can send me a picture of themselves standing up in the park.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, therefore, if I don't get that, if I just get a text saying, I'm fine, Dad, it's going to be a no, you're not. You know what I need. Otherwise, Daddy's calling the cops. Your call.
Yeah, right. All right. That's a good idea.
Yeah. That's smart, man. That. We got that from the Predators. The Predators started that. So we got to use their own stuff against them.
Wow. My kids are still babies. I mean, my daughter is 5 and my son is 7. And I don't let them. As soon as Roblox is big. Like a lot of kids play Roblox, and I hear him like talking, and I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm talking to my friend. I'm playing Roblox." Okay, let me see your friend. And then I look at the chat, and I'm like, "All right, okay, all right." It's like another little kid. Okay, fine. And then like I'm constantly watching because his Roblox account is my Roblox account because I play so many games. So like every now and then, like I log in and I see everything, and I monitor him like crazy, because for that reason, And he's a little kid. He likes to play with other people. He likes to talk with other people and everything like that. So yeah, it's a constant thing.
I think a lot of these companies should kind of step up and do like an age only type deal.
I mean, they do
have in the past, but
like Roblox has an option like 13 plus, and like but even still, like they can anybody can sign up.
You can bypass that if you.
Yeah, you can bypass. Yeah. I mean, it's tough to do without they can have them upload like a driver's license or something. I mean, I don't know how they would do it though. But
as technology advances and things like that, we're going to have to figure out something, because unfortunately, even though I'm sure no gaming company or anything like that ever intended it to be that way, there are those open or player versus player games and things like that are becoming places where unfortunately predators go to try and start talking to younger kids. It's a reality. My daughter Samantha had a situation where she had people messaging her and they were like, "Oh, what's your name?" And she said her first name, not even her full name, right? She just said her first name. And then one of her friends said, "Yeah, her name is so-and-so," said the full name. And then they start coming back with, "Oh, you live here? This is your phone number?" They looked her up and she started freaking out. So I had to go and delete the account and everything else. And she's like, "What if they come here?" And I'm like, this is the problem. Like, her friend, did she do it intentionally? I don't know. She's just a kid. I'm sure she didn't think it was that big of a deal. But I don't think every parent talks to their kids about the reality of what can happen on these gaming sites. I think they're afraid to talk to them about it sometimes.
Oh, that's definitely the case. I've made sure my kids they know what I do. They know how to like watch the videos. I got a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old myself. So they don't watch the videos, but they know what I do, and they kind of, to actually a bad point, they'll just be in the store like, "That guy looks like a predator." I'll be like, "Kids, chill, like relax." Not everybody is a predator, but like,
right.
I don't know if it's a negative thing, but like they've never like been like scared, but they seem more aware, if that makes sense, that like there's bad guys out here, and more aware than I was as like a kid. There was a situation when I was a kid. I was with my grandma. I was at like this Burger King. Like this old dude was like kept touching my head and saying, "Oh, he's such a handsome kid. He's such a handsome kid." And my grandma had to get up and be like, "Hey, you need to leave him alone." And I remember being like, "That's weird." And I had like a nightmare about the dude. And
oh wow,
so like as a kid, I'm kind of happy they're in a better like position to understand who these guys are than I guess I was.
That's crazy. All that stuff happens. Like I said, I have 5 kids myself, and I tell they're always on the the Xbox or the PlayStation or their tablets, and I'm like, you just gotta watch, for all these like weirdos. If you get like a weird message, I said you better tell me or something, because I'm not dealing with that. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine.
It's a very different world, man. Like, I mean, even me and Johnny were talking about it before anyone else was in the green room. We were talking about just the topic of the child molestation and predators, things like that. When we were kids, it was like a Dateline thing. It was a news thing. Newspapers. You didn't hear about it every day. It wasn't talked about all the time. It wasn't until the internet became more and more present that you started hearing stories about it becoming more and more of a common thing. And people say like, oh, the world has gotten, it's gotten worse. I don't know if it's gotten worse. It's just that the way of finding out has become a lot easier now. There's more and more tools for us to know what's going on. The reality is when we were, 15, 16, this stuff still could have been going on. We just didn't have any ways of finding out at the time.
Yeah, that's really smart, man. I mean, I 100% agree. And like a lot of it is like I was born in 1993, so like growing up, it was like watch out for that guy in the van. You know what I mean? And
Right.
now it's watch out for that guy in your DMs. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like it's not as much as them creeping up on you. They're capitalizing on like your low self-esteem, like your childhood self-esteem, which is like you're going through stuff as a kid. You know what I mean? You don't fully believe yourself. You got this, what you seem like an older, cool guy or whatever, giving you all these compliments and stuff. And if you don't have like a perfect home life or a perfect relationship with your parents to come to them and be like, this is dude talking to me, like you might slip into that. I mean, just doing this and just hearing people come to me about their stories of whatever happened to themselves and happened to their kids. And I've heard, I can't even countless thousands, at least thousands of stories of people telling me their story and like what happened, like I said, what happened to their kids. And it just happened to so many people. And not a lot of people talk about it. And sometimes these videos, I guess, give people the courage to talk about it, I guess. They say, I've never talked to anybody else about this, but I want to say this to you. And it's just like, I wish I could help these people, but
Right.
I just don't know what to do other than just what I do. But it's just a topic that people think is like so taboo, and it shouldn't be taboo. It should be talked about and acknowledged kind of everywhere. Just like if you're talking about sex, you need to be talking about other things. You know what I mean? I don't think you should go to kids and be like, hey, watch out for child molesters. But I do think when they're able to talk about more mature things, that you do need to include them on those conversations. So it's a problem with like the whole world, and it's been a problem forever. I think now just people are fighting back on it.
It just amazes me how these men can, like their mindset is like, oh, I'm gonna go have sex with it. Like that just blows my mind. I can't wrap my head around that. I'm thinking to myself, you can easily go to a strip club or go get a prostitute or something. Why do you have to prey on children? Like that's what it just blows my mind. The
prostitution thing is. I think if prostitution was legal, I don't think I would catch as many guys. I don't, but you can't say. I don't know.
It's like they're mentally ill. Like that's the thing. Like a prostitute wouldn't appeal to someone who is sick like that. That looks at a child and says, "Ooh," you know what I mean? Like so, like that you're dealing with like you're dealing with like a mental disorder, you know, or on some kind of level where like that doesn't do it for them. You know what I mean? Like so that's why. Like I mean they could easily go, you know, to a strip club or whatever and do all that stuff, but it's a certain sick, like twisted mind that looks at a child and gets like turned on by that. You know what I mean?
You have to have something wrong with you because there's got to be something misfiring, if you will. Because I look at my daughter, my nephews, I see kids. You know what I mean? I see children. There's nothing in the world that says anything other than they're kids, keep them safe and protect them, make sure they're happy and they have a good life. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there are people out there who look at my daughter, though, full-grown men, 50-year-old men, and they're attracted to her. She's 13. Yeah. That doesn't even register in my brain, but to these guys, that's the way their brain works, unfortunately. I don't know why. I don't know what causes this, and God willing, one day somebody will find out, but that's just the way it works for them for some reason.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
they said Terp said he was watching Michael number 93, and he looks like a potential serial killer. They've had a few.
he looked like a psycho for real.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
wow.
they've caught a few that I was like, man, I hope these guys make it out of there right now. I hope this isn't like at the end a little thing comes scrolling up and it's like, this was DAP/video, by the way. We hope we helped some people. Like, because there's a few of them that I was they had that look about them, and I was like, man, they just don't look okay at all.
I think, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's fine.
Yeah, I think, I'm not saying I have a favorite video, but the one that made me laugh was the one with Austin.
That one gets everybody because you guys go running up and he's like, nope, I'm not Austin. You're like, oh, he's not Austin, guys.
Oh,
turn
Austin,
the cameras off.
That one. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not funny, but that episode just made me laugh because he was so stupid. He was like, oh, you know, like he was like, my name's not Austin. I forget what he said. And then you guys were like, oh, like it's not Austin, you know, shut everything down. But, I mean, it's not funny, but that one really caught me to be funny because he was just like walking in circles and you guys were just following him. He had that dumb raincoat on or whatever he was. But like the people think that like we're stupid. Like, no, you're Austin. You can't say that, you know, like you're different.
You're leaving out the other crazy part about the Austin catch too, babe, was that they caught Austin's boyfriend as well doing the same thing.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
So it's like you didn't learn when your boyfriend got caught and exposed and everything else. You didn't think like, all right, maybe I should knock this off before I'm in the same spot.
Yeah,
just crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah, I think that first 3 videos that I did. The third one was his boyfriend Dakota. Those got 100,000 views in like a day. Like it went like wildfire. It was on the news and stuff, and then he still had the audacity to try to meet up with a little boy.
Mm.
It was like what, like 3? You guys don't know, but I think it was like 3 weeks later. Like it wasn't nothing even crazy. I think the urge is just too much. Like I always like to say, we ain't never caught a good guy. Like there's never been a guy we caught where he's like, oh, this was a mistake. You know what I mean? This isn't a mistake. You don't you accidentally like get into like a car accident, like, but you don't like accidentally go to meet a minor. Like
yeah. And plus you have the chat logs, like you have, you know what I mean?
He has everything. Before he walks up on them, he's like, dude, I have your picture. Yeah. I've got the whole chat log, like, and they're still sitting there going, it's not me. He's like, no, it's not you. All right, I got it. Yeah, no, this isn't you. This isn't your phone number. Like this, none of this is you. I got it. He's like, you just text me. You just text my phone just now, but it's not you. Got it.
I mean, it's not funny. Like, it's funny because people are so that they're just so dumb. Like, really, guy?
Yeah.
But
it's the ones that go like, yeah, it's me. My bad. Those are the ones that was like, okay, so what do I do now? Those are like the hard videos. The guys that go, no, that ain't me. That's an easy video to do. Like, they'll eventually admit it because you got too much evidence. But the guys that go, all right, yeah, I did it. And then it's like, why? Well, I don't know. And it's just like, dang. Like now it's hard. Like those are the hard videos to do.
Does anybody know what our one of our viewers is talking about? Mr. Rogers here. He's saying EDP 445. He's a YouTuber that was caught texting minors today.
Yeah, something like he was like a YouTuber with like 2.3 million subs. And
really?
Another channel like mine had caught him. Yeah, it went like viral on World Star and stuff like that. I don't know nothing about him. Everybody asked me about this EDP dude. I don't know nothing about him, but
do you
like 2.5 million subs?
Do you interact with any of the other groups that much?
I try not to. They have like drama going on within themselves. A lot of those dudes are like 22 years old, like 22, 23. I'm 28. I'm a grown ass man, and they kind of just they do other stuff. And I think I appreciate all the work that they do, but I don't know any groups that are getting like 10 in a weekend. Like when I go to work, man, I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and going to bed at like 12 at night. You know what I mean? And I'm writing guys like so.
Wow.
I've collabed with other groups and they didn't really have that sort of energy, so I kind of just like working by myself.
Oh, okay. See, there's drama everywhere, even in the.
Yeah, we're part of our own little beard community, and that's why we just laughed because when you said they got like their own little drama going
Oh my
on,
god,
Nicole
It's
makes fun of
everywhere.
us. She says we're worse than like high school girls. Like we're always arguing, we're always fighting.
oh
It's
yeah,
just
it's
crazy.
these subcultures, man. I'm in comic book. I collect comic books and stuff too. So like, there's drama in those groups, man.
Yeah,
We're
it's
humans. We're
always
gonna have
it's a
some
human
drama,
nature,
man.
dude.
I think so. I
Yeah,
think that we can't fight it. It's you know, everybody's meant to clash at some point.
that's why you just
Yeah.
become a sports fan and get it all out that way. You know, that's how I look at it,
Oh
man.
God, sports.
Yeah,
I get all my hateful energy out in sports.
there
I
you
have a
go.
question. I have a question. So, do you just stay like in your state, or do you go to like different states to catch these guys?
So we caught when we started. I caught 30 people in my hometown of Fremont, Ohio, which has like 12,000 people, small town.
Oh,
Wow.
And then we were like, we got all of them. Like we was at to the point where okay, we're not catching nobody no more. Kind of the fact that we were so kind of well known. So we were like, okay, well we'll go catch in Toledo, which is about 20 minutes away from us. Started catching
okay.
there. So we've caught in California, Texas. Beth, we caught in Iowa City. We've caught people in Denver, Colorado.
Hmm.
We've caught a bunch of people in Indiana, South Bend, Indiana, Fort Wayne,
Wow.
um, Michigan, Pennsylvania. We were just in Pittsburgh and we caught 7 people in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
so yeah, we've caught everywhere
Hmm.
basically.
There's no dislikes tonight, Vato, because what this man's doing doesn't deserve any. So the drama guys took a night off. They understand we got important things going on here. This man doesn't
I'm gonna
deserve
get
any
one now.
thumbs downs at all. So,
If you get one now, it's because they want to prove Joe wrong. That's
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Right.
That's all that is. They just want to be like, oh, yeah? You think we won't hit the thumbs down even
Yeah,
though?
yeah.
Fine.
We'll do it. We'll do it on a charity for a dying child. Just trust me. We'll do it for this one. They've done it.
What's the court of public opinion like, dude? Like, are you guys generally, do you get a lot of support? Do people appreciate what you're doing? Or is it like mixed reactions a lot of the times?
It's about 75-25 positive.
Okay.
And even the negative is about really only 5% just like hate, like you guys suck type shit. But like the 10% is they like a lot of it was be like you guys aren't police officers, you shouldn't be doing this. Safety stuff like that, which is all it's a credible argument, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I feel like I've gotten so many people arrested and convicted and exposed and just over 100 people. Like that's 100. They got friends, you know what I mean? And they were around kids and just like all these guys that most of the guys that we caught, let's say I'm rounding these numbers. I'm just making up numbers here, but let's say at least 60% of these guys that we catch, I get messages of they did this to me before, they've done this.
Mm.
So it's hard for me to be like what we're doing isn't good. So it's hard for me to listen to those people that say like we should just sit back and let the police do it. And then there's like the people that say we do it for views and for money. And if you're doing this for views or money, like I'm in the wrong business for views and money. Like this isn't gonna make you a millionaire. I don't think there's a predator catching channel with over like 150,000 subs. So like if I was trying to make money or trying to get views, like I'm in the wrong business and I'm not stupid. So you get those guys, but other than that, like I mean, nobody likes a pedophile. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
not political, it's not racial. I mean, nobody likes a predator. So
So from your videos, there have been arrests and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right.
A lot of complaints, I'll be honest, that I get is I'll catch somebody if they don't say anything sexual. So like a lot of times for charges to happen is like and it varies from state to state, county to county, prosecutor to prosecutor who wants to go through charges and stuff like that. But I lost my train of thought here. Where was I going? What did you ask me again?
I said, like a lot of your catches have led to arrests.
Oh yeah, yeah. So if they say something sexual, it helps with the case. But a lot of the times, these guys they don't say anything sexual because I mean they're smart. They just want to meet up. They don't want to talk too much.
Okay.
And I mean, and people will be they didn't even say anything sexual. Like why would you even catch them? But like, dude, you're meeting up with a 13-year-old kid, and if you were smart,
Right.
you wouldn't say anything sexual. Like if Jeffrey Dahmer was killing people in 2019, he wouldn't text them and be like, hey. Tonight I'm about to chop you up and like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it'd be stupid to text it out. So like yeah, I catch stupid ones who obviously text it out, but like if you were a smart predator, you would do at least talking as possible. At least like have the smallest paper trail. So yeah, those guys get exposed too, and I catch a lot of flack for even within the
Yes,
predator
Sam.
community. So
I don't know why.
Yeah, she is.
Yes, Sam.
She does that. She comes in randomly like that.
What?
She should start kicking the door in when she comes in.
oh,
She's not even open. Yeah, she shouldn't even turn the doorknob. She should just like open it and just boom, kick the door in, and then walk in.
Another question. So, when you catch
It's I got the people from DAP on.
do the police
Yeah, here, look, say hi.
mad at
what's
what
up,
you
Joe's daughter?
Oh,
And Nicole, yes, and Nicole.
and Johnny.
And
Wow,
Johnny,
I
yeah.
know all these people.
Yes, you
I
do.
can't speak for myself. The
Yes, you
big girl
can.
I am.
All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. How do I do that? How do I get this out?
Babe, we'll do it after.
I need help. Now.
Let me do it after. Use your inhaler. Trust me. All right, go. Use your inhaler first.
You are.
No, you have to use your inhaler first.
You are difficult.
No, I'm difficult. That's right. I'm difficult.
I have a question. So when you catch these guys, do the police get mad? Are they supportive? Like, have you ever had any problems with the police? You know, saying, oh, like, stop doing this, or thank you, or anything like that.
Say that one more time.
I'm sorry. So when you do, when you catch these guys, do the police get mad that you do it, or are they supportive that you're doing it?
It's a case by case basis depending on where we are. I mean, the police a lot of times in the bigger cities, the police they act like they don't have time for it, and the small town cops they kind of get into it. They don't got a lot going on, and a lot of this stuff of what we're doing is new to them. They don't really understand it. It's not stuff that they see every time, so they're coming and they're really kind of confused about the whole process. So most of the time they just break it up. They break it up, have me email the stuff, and because that a lot of people are like, why don't you call the cops right away? Because if I call the cops right away, all they're gonna do is just break us up, like right away, and these guys won't make themselves any guiltier, like as they will to me.
It's kind of weird that like the police don't understand what's going on. Like I would think they would know. Yes, there's child molesters, child predators out there, and they would know that this is going on. But I guess maybe some don't. That right there just
yeah, and
like
the small town places don't have the budget to do these types of things. So like, if you're looking to like catch predators and stuff like that, the hardest place to do is in the cities because the cities actually have sting operations a lot of the times. So people are more worried about it. In these rural towns, the cops do it. They don't have anybody trained to do it, and the people aren't scared of it. I mean, Lucha City. I mean, we caught our record, which is 12 in 2 days. So like, They just don't have a budget for it over there.
I can't. That number right now is like 12, 10 in a day, like 2 days. Like that's just that's absolutely insane.
I feel like if they made like just like one or two like public castrations or something like that, like it would like scare the crap out of these guys, and they wouldn't do this kind of thing. I mean, that's how I would go medieval with it, you know.
Yeah.
Johnny is our resident serial killer, by the way. Just so you know,
come on.
Johnny goes a little bit dark with things.
I'm just thinking like how would you like, you know, kind of like nip it in the bud, like, you know, just shock them so hard that like they wouldn't even, you know, like this will happen to you if you do this, you know what I'm saying? But
It slaps on the wrist.
due process and stuff, you know.
I
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm on your boat. I mean, this is getting ridiculous.
Well, I think part of the problem is, too, I think like some of the problem is as well is like some police officers or you know, stations, cops, whatever you might be, like Josh was just saying, they don't have the funding and things like that. They don't have the training necessarily. So I think they look at like an online conversation and they're like, oh, what's the big deal? It's online. It's no big deal. You know, like,
The girls
well, no, it absolutely
there's no real
can turn into something bad.
Right. A lot of it gets them to where there's not actually a real kid. Then break it up, basically.
Okay.
So like, what sucks is why I like doing what we do. There's two reasons why I think what we do is important compared to the law and the police. Number one is everybody knows somebody that's a convicted sex offender, but you don't know what. You didn't see what he did. You didn't see what he said. So like when it's with us, you see what they say. You see everything. You know what I mean? There's no lying. A guy can't go tell like his friend like, oh, I actually said this. You know what I mean? Or everybody's heard a story with like, oh, she didn't actually. Yeah, I'm a convicted sex offender, but she didn't tell me she was 15. And then, like, when you have those court situations, you just can't call up the courts and be like, hey, can I see these documents of all the witness testimonies and stuff like that? You can't really do that. So, like, it's up to, like, his word versus a charge. And people can convince other people of that stuff. You know what I mean? It's hard to convince somebody that's on a video where they admit that the person they was talking to was 13. You know what I mean? They can't go back on it and lie on it.
Right.
And that's one of the things that like you can't do with the police and the courts is they can forever lie because you wasn't in court and those files are sealed. And if they make a plea deal and stuff gets thrown out, you know what I mean? There's no plea deal. It's just the truth on YouTube.
Ken, our Bluegrass Bearded here, had a question which you did answer already. So he asked, how hard is it not to rough these guys up a little? He said it's definitely not easy, but he is. He said the first part of the word is dad, and he keeps that in his mind that he, you know, if he does something, gets himself locked up, then he's not there for his kids, and that's what keeps him from hurting people. Ken, and he also answered the second part of this question as well. Ken, yes, he has. He said they've had more than a couple fights and things like that have happened because these guys have tried to fight them. So it's I don't know, man. Like I think one of the things I've always been curious about when I watch is I know you do quite a bit of it in your hometown and such. How do your hometown police officers feel about it?
I had a good relationship with some detectives and some like just police, like regular police officers. There's some that don't like it. I don't have a good relationship with the police chief. He's kind of like shitted on me in the media, but like patted my back behind closed doors and stuff like that. He plays both sides. 'Cause at the end of the day, yeah, they're police officers, but they're dads and men too, and they understand. You know what I mean? Like they get it, and they might disagree on like I'm going about it the wrong way, but at the end of the day, like it's nobody likes a predator.
Right.
So when you get the politics involved, that's kind of when they start having issues of like, if I'm making them look like shit, you know what I mean, or something
Right,
like that,
right.
then when the politics get involved, then things get muddy. But at the core of it, like, these guys are men, they got kids, they don't like these guys either.
So the gentleman that you caught, what was it? It was Travis, right? Was that the one that was your actual friend?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Have you and him had any type of communication since?
no,
No chance for
no,
that ever again, right?
no, sir. Yeah, I said something in a video I kind of regret. I was like, I'm gonna need like 10 years to talk to you again, but I'm never gonna talk to him again, and I kind of regret saying 10 years. So
Yeah. I genuinely felt bad watching that video. I was like, dude, he really and you're like, dude, you've gone with us, you've helped us. Like, I was like,
yeah,
that hurts. That's not cool. That's there wouldn't have been a camera again.
yeah, it
So
was
this is why
like,
I can't do what you do, because there wouldn't have been a
Yeah, I
camera there
can't.
again. There wouldn't have been a camera there.
it's like et tu, Brutus. Like, it was like Julius Caesar got stabbed in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
And
was rough.
again, if it was me, like I'd have had one of the other guys invite him up. As he came up the stairs, I'd have been waiting behind the door with a baseball bat, and they'd be like, "Well, you know what you did. You know exactly why you're on the floor, and you deserve it."
Right.
And I'd have walked away.
Yeah, Joe's not doing any of these
I
things.
wish, I wish, I wish that we could. I wish I could do that too, man. Wild Wild West scenario. If it was a Wild Wild West scenario, I'd just show up and pop a lot of these dudes after the things that they say.
Yeah,
If I'm
yeah.
being honest.
Oh yeah, yeah. I get that.
So have you had any legal issues because of the videos or anything like that? Like, if you had to go to court and defend yourself because of something, or if they tried to sue you or anything like that? I know you posted the thing of the one guy calling and yelling at you and leaving you voice messages. He wanted $10 trillion, or he wasn't going to leave you
Yeah,
alone.
he's gonna beat the brakes off me.
Yeah,
I Yeah, it's about every other guy. They're gonna sue me for defamation of character or something like that. But I've never got paperwork, because at the end of the day, for defamation of character, which is the only thing they could possibly try to sue me for, you have to prove that I'm lying.
Right.
And
It's gotta be false.
I'm never putting myself in a position. I'm never gonna accuse you of something that you didn't do. So like,
Right.
even when I catch these guys that are there to they didn't say anything sexual, like, I don't be like, hey, you was here to have sex with a girl. I don't say that. I say, why would you here
Right.
to meet a 13-year-old girl? You know what I mean? So you have to be careful. There's channels that's been sued and stuff like that before. We say the word pedophile. We came up with our own word on accident. Actually, my friend Jay, he was trying to say predator and pedophile at the same time. He said pedophile, and it stuck. All of our whole base uses it, and it's a really cool word, actually, because it keeps us out of a lot of legal trouble. Because what is a pedophile? It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything, but you know what it means.
Right. Right.
I'm very happy you just said that now, because I've been looking up pedophile for the last 24 hours trying to figure out if the word had an actual meaning, and now I know at
No, you
least
made it
no.
up. It's a
You
made up.
guys just made it up.
We
I feel better
That's
now.
awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
we coined it, yeah, and everybody uses it, man. I see all the comments, everybody saying pedophile. It's funny because we spell it different. I spell it with an O, and it looks like everybody took on the A version. So I think I got to give up the O.
Vato, yes, they have. They've caught 3 females, actually. I don't think, like you said, they haven't caught one by themselves yet. They've always been working with a man as well, but they have 3. Johnny posted the link for DAP in the chat. If you guys haven't yet, it's weird to advertise a channel that I know it's not anything anybody wants to know about, but what they're doing is definitely needed. They're doing something amazing. Go check it out. Support these guys, because they deserve everybody's support. Because as a father, I don't know, there's no way I can describe how much I appreciate and respect what you guys are doing, dude. Seriously.
Yeah. Even for me being a mom, it's like, it's good. I mean, I love it. I I support you guys 1,000%, and hopefully, I mean, one day this will end, but we know it never will. Like I said,
You guys are breaking up. I can't hear. I didn't hear what you guys last said.
now I said for me being a mom, I give you guys big props, and I support you guys 1,000%.
Thank you. Thank you.
What you
Thank you.
You know, I have just one or two more questions, brother. I know, like you said, you're on your Wi-Fi and stuff, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap things up. Was there ever one where at the end of it you thought you were done? Like, was there ever a catch where it was just like too much for you, and you didn't know if you wanted to get up and do another one afterwards?
Say that one more time. I got the end of it. I didn't get the front of it. My phone
Okay.
was acting funky.
Was there ever a time where you went on a catch and after meeting the individual or maybe the things he said or whatever it might be, that it kind of got to you and you were like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to meet these guys anymore. I don't want to deal with these guys anymore.
Early on, man, I was quitting like I wanted to quit all the time. And I'd quit for like 2 days and I'd be like, I can't do it no more, blah, 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 blah. Because not only is it the predator stuff, but it's like people like threatening me, just weird stuff. And just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it's gross. Like, I'm seeing stuff I don't want to see. And then I quit or whatever. And then I'm laying in bed one night and it's just like, I know I could be catching a predator. And, and I was kind of taught, like, if you know you can do the right thing and you don't do it, like, purposely, then, like, that's doing something wrong at that point. Like, if I'm purposely avoiding doing the right thing. So to me, yeah, I've had to, like, keep where I live a secret because I had a bad guy, like, post a picture, like, he was in my backyard and took a picture and sent it to me. And I've had a bunch of weird shit, and it gave me like anxiety and stuff at first, but like you just kind of have to accept it at this point because I can't go back. I mean, the way I look at it is, if I catch one guy, because if they're willing to kill themselves, they're willing to kill me, as the way I look at it. And if I catch one guy, he's got at least 4 people that love him. So I've made 5 enemies. So I got like over 500 enemies of people that would probably wish to see me dead. And that's kind of tough stuff to deal with, but I got to deal with it. I can't. Pandora's out the box, you know? So.
Wow, I can't believe, like, you literally had somebody send you a picture of themselves standing in your backyard, basically.
Yeah, they took a picture of basically the house. It was a picture that it was like a real picture. It wasn't like a Google Maps picture or nothing.
Oh, right. Wow, that is crazy. Cheesehead, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming in. The last thing I want to ask you, sir, before we get ready to wrap this up, what, like, I don't know. So for a lot of us guys that do like the YouTube channels and stuff, we plan out our futures, what we would like things to be. Your world is so different, though. Do you ever think about the future for DAP and like what you want it to be down the road, or are you just more focused on right now?
My focus is right now, but I'm always planning. This is my job now, and I'm pretty good at it, and I want to do it. So, we want to eventually. We have like stuff that we're setting up. We have a lot of ideas. We want to do like an AA group, kind of with victims or family of victims, where people can meet up and talk, and whether it be online or in-person one, which how I would want it to be. We want to do that. I think every city should have a team like that we do, and it just can be a couple, like a neighborhood watch. You know what I mean? I think there should be a neighborhood watch that does this. So
Yeah,
like
I agree.
until the awareness of that gets spread, I want to talk to people in prison. I want to talk to convicted pedophiles, and I want to get inside their brain. So like I'm writing letters to get to talk to people in prison. It's kind of hard with the COVID and stuff going on right now, but
Right.
that's going to be in the future. We have a thing. I don't know if you've seen the video, but Jay's story, where one of my members, Jay, he basically goes up and confronts the guy that molested him when he was younger, and that inspired a lot of people that wrote us and was like, "Hey, I want to go talk to the guy that molested me, but I'm scared. Will you guys go with us?" So
Wow.
we want to go do that with them as well. I'm talking to my lawyer right now to kind of like figure out what we can actually do legally, because I got proof the guys I catch. You know what I mean? We're just basically going off of their words. So we got to
Right.
figure out how to do that. Where we can do that legally. So we're in the process of a bunch of things. We want to eventually do kind of a podcast ourselves. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like we've raised some money for kids before and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we can't do the field that gets this train going is catching predators. So I mean, there's a lot of good I can do with my platform, but the platform is catching predators. So at the end of the day, that's always the number one goal.
That's really cool, bro. Like everything you're trying to do, the groups for the families and everything else. That's what you guys do. Like literally, overall, is just amazing, man. Like seriously. Johnny,
Thank you, man.
Johnny, do you have anything you would like to get into here before I start to wrap things up?
No, you pretty much covered it all. Covered a lot, yeah.
Nicole,
I think we covered it all. I mean,
did I? I thought I came prepared, man. I'll tell you, I was a little nervous to have you on because
Yeah.
I do, dude. I respect you, and I really admire what you guys are doing. So I was a little nervous. I
Thank
did my
you.
homework. I was writing stuff down. I wanted to make sure I had everything good and covered. So,
It was fun, man.
again, guys, to everybody watching, thank you guys for hanging out. The channel is called DAP. They have 100 catches up right now, and what they're doing is simply amazing. He shows you proof every step of the way. Like he shows you everything. So it's completely transparent and you can see what these people are doing. I know it's a scary topic, guys. I know it's not something everybody wants to talk about, but this is a channel I've shown my daughter because it is a teaching tool. There is a lesson that can be learned there. She can see things and the way they're happening out there and how some of these people are thinking. She can understand better what's actually happening. And because of that, man, again, thank you so much for what you guys do. I think it's absolutely amazing, dude. And thank you for coming on tonight.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, the platform to share our story and stuff like that. It's appreciated.
No, yeah, man. It was our honor. And yeah, guys, I guess that about wraps it up for this week. Again, Josh, dude, seriously, thank you so much for coming on. It was truly an honor, sir. Johnny, thank you, sir. Nicole, Dave, thank you for coming on, hanging out with us. And all of you guys out there, please be safe. Take care of each other. All right.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.